Hey everyone, welcome back to The Wave. My name is TyArc, and for today's tutorial we're going to be focusing on chord progressions. Alright, now chord progressions are a really important part of making music because it's going to be the base of your song, really. And chord progressions are really going to be the thing that ties melodies and vocals really into place. So for today's tutorial I'm going to be using 3 steps to show that you can go from Step 1, which is a really basic chord progression, all the way to Step 3, which is a lot more original and much better sounding. So let's start with Step 1, and for Step 1 I've written this little melody here. I'll show you how I made this chord progression. So it's only 2 notes per chord, as you can see, which is really basic. But for the top line I just wrote this little melody. So, you know, it's pretty basic, but it is catchy. And then I have the bass line as well. So altogether that would sound like this. Alright. So that's going to be the very first step. As you can see, it's really basic, not much happening, and it is going to be repetitive and boring at some point. But we do have to start from somewhere, so this is a good start for Step 1. Now moving on to Step 2, that's when we're really going to make the sound a lot more full, and you can already see that I've done that. We now have the triad chords. Now as you can see, the chords are 3 notes instead of just 2, so it will sound a lot more full. I've also put the bass note an octave down. So I'm gonna play this for you. Alright, now that does sound better. It's definitely more solid, but again, it's going to get repetitive at some point. There's really not much going on, and if you're just gonna have this on loop, it's really gonna get boring after some point. And that's what brings us on to Step 3. So as I expand Step 3, there is definitely a lot more going on here. The first thing that I'm going to bring up is the velocity. So if you don't already know what velocity is, it's a really useful tool for creating chord progressions and any other MIDI sort of thing. By changing the velocity, it's really made the chords more dynamic and not just stale. Also, something you might have noticed is I've thrown a couple extra notes in here, and you'll see what I mean when I play the whole thing. Let me just play that for you. And yeah, I think this sounds so much better than Step 1 and Step 2. It's way more original, it's not as stale anymore, the volume is fluctuating, and it does sound really good. Now from here I could obviously go further. I could write a whole track around this, I could create a melody on top of it, but for the actual chord progressions, this is a really great way to start writing them originally. So yeah, I really hope you guys learned something from this. I hope it got you inspired in some way. If this video helped you guys out in any way, then please feel free to share that in the comments. And as always, a like and subscribe would always be appreciated. But yeah, thanks again for watching. That's going to be it for today's video, and I'll see you guys later.